You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Well, guys, we must continue to talk about Caitlin Clark and her refusal to actually give her opinion on transgenders in female sports. Now, in my opinion, I do believe that she doesn't want transgenders in female sports. Remember, she actually plays in the WNBA. I highly doubt she actually wants to play against a male. However, we know the league that she's actually in, folks. I came out hard at Caitlin Clark when she actually refused to answer that question. Now, people are actually saying, oh, she wants to stick to sports. She doesn't want to get political. I agree. She should not get political. But folks, the transgender issue in sports, that's not a political issue. It's not like when the NBA got into that bubble in 2020 and started kneeling for Marxism, Black Lives Matter, all this other stuff. None of that stuff had anything to do with basketball. But the transgender invasion of women's sports, that has a lot to do with basketball and the WNBA. Because these coaches, man, they've been pretty vocal. Remember Cheryl Reeves wore that shirt expressing her opinion on transgender kids. They have opened the door, folks, to males invading the WNBA. So it's not a political issue at all, considering that 90% of Americans don't want transgenders in female sports. This is not political. Caitlin Clark is not asked whether or not she's a Trump supporter, Biden supporter, whatever. She's not being asked that. She's actually been asked a question about something that could actually affect her as an athlete. That was my whole point. Now, Megyn Kelly came out and called Caitlin Clark a coward. And Dave Portnoy, he got very, very pissed off with Megyn Kelly. And they went at it. Now, Megyn Kelly was just dropping facts, saying the same thing I was actually saying. It's not political. This is a real issue, folks, that has affected females. There's been females that have gotten severely injured because of transgenders in that sport. Talked about Fallon Fox, a male boxer, cracked the skull of a female in boxing. Peyton McNabb, we talked about her a few years back. Her athletic career ended because the transgender spiked the ball into her head and she had immense damage to her. Her career was over with. And this is why I was critical of Caitlin Clark for not saying anything, because it's not political. But let's go ahead and dive into this, guys. Here we go. So right over here, Megyn Kelly versus Dave Portnoy. Rumble over Caitlin Clark's trans athlete dodge. And right here, this is the clip right here, in case you guys didn't see it. She's actually being asked about transgenders in namely the WNBA, and she punts on the question, and Megyn Kelly just calls her a coward right there. Listen in just in case you guys haven't heard it.
I think for us, it's not really a discussion we really have in our locker room. I think it's for leagues and the governing bodies to work with their athletes to find solutions, but our focus is on basketball, and that's what we talk about and how we can get wins, and obviously we didn't do that tonight, so we need to find an area to improve in that way.
Do you have any, reaction to the...
I just answered for you.
Thank you.
All right. We'll go over to the Zoom. We'll start with Chloe.
Yeah, right there. Now, the reason why, guys, you actually saw the transgender invasion in female sports is because females said nothing. This is why the transgender invasion in female sports has happened. Remember when Will Thomas started swimming at UPenn? Those girls on the team were told to be quiet and shut up. They were not vocal about the opposition to a transgender being inside their locker room, exposing himself. A lot of women, guys, were silent. And this is why the invasion happened. And Megyn Kelly is saying coward. Now, people are actually calling out Megyn Kelly right here, like Red Eagle Politics, like him, says the woman too cowardly to call out Kansas Owens. We're talking about something, though, like I said, that is a direct sports issue. Now, they're also bringing up this clip right here. I believe this is when Megyn Kelly was on, where was she at? This ain't on Fox, but she's reading from a script here. Okay? They're talking about this clip right here.
People with me on stage right now are all transgender kids who want others to know it is possible to transition socially with love and support and acceptance within a family and a community. Please welcome 16-year-old Nicole, 12-year-old Daniel, 14-year-old Gia, 15-year-old Landon, and 13-year-old Stella. Their parents are also here. Morning, everyone. Morning. Also joining me in our special audience is Gira.
Yeah, I believe this is when she was at NBC. She's reading from a script. Okay? Reading from a script. She replied to this. What did she say right here? Dean, does your computer have a search function? Does it go back only to 2018, or do you have the years 2020, 21, 22, and beyond? Give it a shot, dear. Yeah, say what you want about that. But my point is that this directly affects sports. Now, Dave Portnoy right here replies to her and says, absolute moron, idiot to call Caitlyn a coward for this answer. First of all, you don't even know how she feels on this issue. And more importantly, she doesn't owe it to you or anybody else to be your political talking point. She just wants to play ball. Total coward, cheap shot to call her a coward for not being your puppet. And people that are critical of the comment, man, and critical of me are missing it. Like I said, this is not political. It's not political to come out and say, hey, I don't believe that that women should actually be competing against men. Because like I told you guys, the reason why the invasion happened is because females didn't say anything. That's why it happened. That's why it happened. And if you actually came out and said you were against it, they criticized you. They tried to punish you. That's the whole point. So if she remains silent, let's just say all these athletes remain silent, and that invasion really started coming to the WNBA, and these females actually started losing their jobs, because that's what would happen if there's just one male invading the WNBA, folks. That's going to displace a female. And guess what? Because that language in the, by the way, the language in the WNBA's collective bargaining agreement, yeah, it says this for women, but there's a loophole in that could actually open up the door to transgenders in WNBA. I already talked about it, guys. You actually do have a transgender basketball player in France that would be happy to play in the WNBA. He's just waiting on that call. This is why, that was my criticism right there, folks. This is why I said she's being a coward, because it does directly affect sports with her. And it's not a political statement to say no. It's just not. To me, guys, it's just common sense. It's not political. But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.